Hello friends, Sam Graham doing TCGs yet again. Kinda again. So, I've talked this up for a hot minute. Kinda finally getting around to it. Figured, okay, I didn't make it for the first one of the year. How about the last one in January? But, so this is currently named TSC Legacy. My buddy Tanner has put a lot of work into this. Acknowledging, as you'll see, that there are things that if he ever decided to mass produce this, there would be some quirks and changes that had to be made. He and I kind of talked about that. But as far as I know, now other people may have picked some up too. I don't know the answer to that. But this is one of only 2 of these sets currently in existence that I'm aware of. Again, maybe other people picked them up, but we tested it, played it, had a big tournament for it, for his getting it completed. I've got a copy of the rule book over there too, but got the box. He had a buddy of his do art for it. Just the whole thing is a lot of fun. So I thought I would go through what my buddy's TSC Legacy, his initials, came out to. This is also, I picked up the playmats. Like, I got basically everything I could get for this thing, just because it sounded like fun. So, in the game, what you have is, you've got Legend. Of course, that's one of the things that might get updated later on, would be less playing card style back, but I like it for what he did. It was effective and got the job done. So, you can only see part of the playmat here. There's a third row back here that says C. That is for commons. So you got commons, you got specials in the middle, legends up front. Legends are kind of the most powerful. They are one of the prime win conditions is to defeat 3 of your opponent's legends. But so what Tanner did here, basically, so that's saying, okay, what is this? What can it kill? And there are some additional pieces of information that will pop up later on. And then what is required to kill it. So this is a Legend of Baxter. Basically, what Tanner did in creating this was all his worlds he played with as a kid. All the things he created, all the stories he made up, the games he would play became parts of this world. So Legend of Baxter is one of those, kind of an animal world. So this, to defeat it, its opponent would require a different legend on the field and something that's Legend of Baxter. That could be the same card. So if there was another legend that was Legend of Baxter, this of course is a rarity. It's not a TCG. It's more of a, two people sit down with a kit. Much more board game style. Almost deck building, but more directly kind of competitive. You're not cycling the deck so much. So we got the different. So Graybird would be able to defeat Legend of Baxter when it came on the field. Similar to other games I've played, there's basically a 3-round invincibility for the legends. They can't be defeated in those third rounds or in that first little bit. Keep things from getting just busted, basically. Wiped out super duper fast. But all of the, I feel like some of the birds are like stock photos, but anything where it's like a sketch, those are Tanner's sketches for the characters. So TSC superheroes are his special superheroes. You've got different people that are, similar to various different superheroes in our worlds, and some that are super different. You get some cards that have special abilities down at the bottom. It was just so much fun to see him pocket monsters. That was one of the other things we specifically talked about. If he ever continued to develop it, he'd pretty definitely have to change that name. I feel like the Pokemon Company would not roll with that. But yeah, so many different things that different cards can do. One of the other, you can have up to 8 commons on your board. Commons are basically foot soldiers. They have no impact of their own. If you run out of commons, you lose. That's another primary win condition. But yeah, so he's just got his little sketches, his dudes from all the different games. Pluratus, I don't remember the story behind that. Tanner and Taverns was like a Dungeons and Dragons, essentially. Color World. It was just so much fun to see all his creativity from like his life going up to this and then just turning it into a game from there. Oh, this is sweet. So he put himself in the game, and the winner of the first tournament, Jansen, also got a card in there. That's delightful. I hadn't actually seen either of these yet. I hope they don't mind their names popping up on my video. But so yeah, that's part 1. That's the legends. Most of them are the ones, they've usually got some special ability or, being the win condition, they might have something that protects them from certain things or gives them a benefit against certain things. They go up here. You can have 2 out at a time. You start the game with 1. It's a very simple game. His idea behind it was, he's not big. This is where we differ somewhat. He wasn't big on reading a ton in games. So he wanted everything to have like simple, straightforward. Okay, this symbol, this can kill a common, but it's red. So it has to sacrifice itself to kill a common. And then it's killed by everything, essentially. So this is a common, but they're basically just, even they have their own lore, even though they don't do anything special. Each card in here has lore written out for them. A few cards will have their affinity or rivalries that give bonuses if they're on the table together or at the same time, either friendly or against each other. Sometimes it's like an extra card draw. I think is the most common version of that. He's got his wrestling, Legend of Baxter. We got more superheroes. Just so much work that Tanner put into like buckets of lore for so many things that you can go through, see all of it, and just the art. It's so much fun seeing what he put together. Basically, you draw a card, or you can you draw a card, 1 card each turn. Something Gothic. You draw a card each turn, and then you get 1 additional action. You can draw another card. You can do a direct attack. You can play a card is the second action. So any of those, if you put something down. There are specific cards. Most of them are the specials that go in this row, this stack right here. There are several specials that give you an extra action. You can act twice. Which is very potent. That's one of the things you really, really want to do. Attack twice if the user has a villain in play. So the specials, you've got S, which is, I always blank on that part. Support or special. But then you've got hero, villain, that one's a hero, like all that kind of stuff too. So you'll have win conditions or victory conditions to defeat a legend or something like that that requires that. Most of the powers come from the S ones. They're not as strong as the heroes and villains, but it's letting you act twice or get some other ability, which really gets you out. So yeah, you start out with a special and a legend on the board and a few of your commons. Then you can pick up to a certain number of other cards. I believe it's 4 or 3. Anyway, it's been a minute since I got to play. I want to play with him again. We played when he first brought the kit over. And then you draw a couple more cards, which you can put on the board. And that counts as an action. It was just a lot of fun, really, to see a buddy's creativity at work. And then to support him, like, he tried to get me to just pay what it costs to order and ship it. But I'm like, dude. You put all this effort in. So, support him a little bit, too. It was a lot of fun. The whole process was a lot of fun. Got to play it with my kids some, too. Just a lot of fun. But, so that is TSC Legacy. I'm going to try and remember to put a link to Tanner's music. He's got a YouTube channel. Hit him up. I would really appreciate that. That would be a lot of fun. But just in general, lots of different stuff. I haven't gotten to really play cards of any type in a hot minute. Most recently I played, I don't even remember what it's called, but the just crack two packs and play with it. Casual format for Lorcana. That's the most recent cards I played. I take that back. I did play a couple days ago. I played my first Talishar Flesh and Blood game in a hot minute. So that was fun too. I just haven't been able to get around and play. But hopefully in the new year, that's one thing I definitely want to change. I want to get things on the table. Play TSC Legacy with the little dude or with, some of my other friends. Flesh and Bloods, Star Wars Unlimited, Lorcana, Legions. Anything I can get on the table, I really, really would like to, in the new year, make a point of getting into that again. Sometimes, I'll admit the content creation journey has not always kept my attention, but at the same time, it's one of those things. It started off with, I just have fun doing it. And every now and then, I've talked before, like, I'll go open a case, not on channel, just for grins, for me. But it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm going to be opening this anyway. I might as well just record it and talk about the game. Sometimes I don't have as much to talk about, and I kind of feel a little bit worse about those, just because I'm like, I feel like I am not saying anything, especially in stretches like right now, where I haven't gotten to play games as much, so I'm slightly less in the loop. And then there's always some kind of drama going on too, which is always super duper fun. But yeah, I hope to actually maybe travel to an event. I know that's going to be tricky this year, because we're doing a big family trip that is sucking up a bunch of resources and like vacation time and stuff like that. But I would love to go to a big event. I would really love it. Hey, LSS, if you're listening, I'd love an event to land in my backyard, like Nashville or Chattanooga. Memphis is in 2 days, and the timing just didn't work out for me able to make that one. That's disappointing. Just the way things came together, other stuff going on, I couldn't make it, and that's I mean, it's good stuff, so it's not the end of the world, but it's still just like, oh, so close. Nashville. Bring me something in Nashville. Then we're good. But yeah, that's really what's going on. I had bigger things in mind to talk about the new year and whatever, but I mean, I'm not a big one for scripted unless like the Legions reveals I've had, really kind of taking notes and outlining things and doing that. For the most part, my videos are pretty off the cuff, and I kind of want to leave it that way. So when I actually sat down and thought of it, I'm not big on New Year's resolutions. Like, that's not a major thing for me. I've been reading a lot more lately. I blew my reading goal out of the water last year, and I'm super ahead of pace already after a month this year. So that's been something that has gotten some of my attention as well. So yeah, I had these grand plans for my grand scheme for 2025. But when it really comes down to it, my grand scheme is I was just going to keep doing my thing. There may be more gaps on occasion here and there where I don't do something for a minute. I like the consistency, and I don't super enjoy change, so it's also a distinct possibility that doesn't actually happen. But it's one of those things that I've thought about not really stressing myself out to make sure I've got something every Tuesday and Thursday, basically. Maybe cut back to once a week. I don't know. Just thinking out loud while I'm here, overall, things that I've talked about before. Mental health, pretty good. Busy at work right now. I'm in accounting, and our fiscal year ended yesterday, or 2 days ago. So things are super busy right now. Will be for a little bit. Birthdays coming up. All kinds of different stuff. So it's like, there may be some dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge going on for the next little bit, but who knows? Who knows? It's all good. Honestly, the biggest thing, I say it a lot, it probably comes off as rote, but I want to make sure everybody knows any bit of attention you give to me, I appreciate it. Anytime you choose to spend on one of my videos, I appreciate it. Even when it's a little one like this, where honestly, I thought about going to the big face screen and was just like, nah, let's show off Tanner's work a little bit more. I just sincerely appreciate any time anybody gives me. Every like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff means a lot to me. And just a lot of the people I've met along the way mean a lot to me as well. Some of those things have gone through good and bad patches, or super friendly patches to the occasional like or whatever here and there. But all of that is appreciated. So many people that mean the world to me. Yeah. So, master plan was there, and didn't look like I planned, but sometimes what plan survives contact in the first place. Here we are. But yeah, my buddy Tanner with his game, we're going into a new year. First month already down. Good grief, has that flown. It has flown like wild. I just don't even understand. But here we are, almost done with January of 2025. Whew. Thanks for making it through another year and a month with me. And let's do a good, let's be kind to each other out there. Other people use that catchphrase, and I'm not using it as a catchphrase, but let's be kind to each other. Let's be good to each other. One of my favorite moments, Boy Meets World back in the day. Do good. Don't you mean do well? No, do good. Well, let's be on that. That's one of my focuses, is continuing to find ways to do that and show some leadership in doing that. Not necessarily online or whatever, but, in the everyday life. Yeah. The world can be crazy sometimes, so let's be some calm and some goodness in that crazy. Let's do that. In any case, I've said a lot. I feel like I'm close to rambling. I don't think I actually rambled yet, but I'm going to cut it off before I do. I really appreciate y'all once again. As always, have a great close to your January. Have a great February. Hopefully I'll see you during that time. But regardless, have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.